How's everybody doing? I don't know what's up with like the YouTube version of live from your smartphone. Like constantly reconnects. And this time I have a visor on the back on the front window, so it's behind it, so the sun's not beating on the phone, so it doesn't overheat. Um, how is everybody doing? Um, I'm going live on this channel because I want to promote um, the live we're going to do on the other YouTube channel on Tuesday, July 30th, this Tuesday. And we're just gonna have a conversation. We're gonna talk about life, whatever, whatever comes up. Um, it's 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Emily and her channel on YouTube is Welcome to Oracle. I'll put all this stuff in the description of this video when it's done and it uploads. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. We will be channeling the light. Emily and her channel is Welcome to Oracle. Luna and her channel is um, Darren and Luna on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook and TikTok, and it's all Darren and Luna. Patreon is Darren and Luna's New Earth School. Um, how you doing, Livia? How you doing? If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like, comment. Check out our other channel, which is Darren and Luna. We did a 2-hour event this past Tuesday, and we will be doing another one this coming Tuesday. Oh, happy birthday. Yeah, go to subscribe to the channel, comment, like. Pleasure to meet you too. I'm definitely having a wonderful day. If you haven't already, like the video, comment, subscribe. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, a magnificent day. You know, there's a lot of things to be grateful and thankful for. Um, one of them is life. Thank you, everyone, um, for just showing up and sharing sharing your comments and um, like I said. So getting back to it, we did a live this past Tuesday. Oh, congratulations, man! Happy birthday! I'm glad to um, where's everybody from, by the way? Where in the world are you located? Do you believe that Leva is really 10 years old? I don't know. I wonder. Very cool. So we got some from the USA. Where else? What are you all up to on this fine and glorious day? How's everybody doing on this fine and glorious day? Yeah, man, we're just having a conversation. Not soup. It's are you familiar with a Brazilian super fruit? It's called acai berry. That's what it is. It's not soup. It could be soup if I left it out in the heat. But it's not. Yeah, I agree. So I added my own touch to it. I added some goji berries and some extra granola and you know some other things. You're not up to much today. Um, so let me ask you everyone a question, okay? No, I just don't. What I mean, what would you want to join the stream for? No, I don't just let anybody just join because they'll ban your channel if like definitely not. No, thank you. Um, so what does everybody believe their purpose to be here? Why you came? Why you're? Yeah, no, I just don't do that because I've had if things are said that is not supposed to be said, they'll take the live down and they'll ban the channel. So I'm just not going to do that. Um, so what does everybody feel their purpose is here? Do you believe you have a purpose? um, hold on, guys. I just had to answer something. I don't even see them. We're gonna make a moderator, someone a moderator, but I don't even see them in the list. I don't see you in the list. If you're on, I don't see you. So, so yeah. So, do you believe that you have a purpose? Let's start there. Um, there you are. Now I see you. Okay, so I'm gonna make you a moderator if I can. Add as moderator. Okay. I'll say you're the managing moderator, okay? Now we have a managing moderator to moderate the comments. So there will not be any disrespect in this channel. So everybody just we're just going to have a respectful conversation. So I'm having, if you want to know if anybody's heard before, let me just make sure that it's not getting hot. It is pretty hot. And I have this like visor on the window now, and there's no sun at all, but yet it's still getting hot. So I don't know how long we'll be able to go live for, but we'll do it as long as it doesn't overheat on me. Okay, it's not sour. So we're having some in case you guys want to know, we're having some no, I didn't. I didn't. I need to. Uh you know, honestly, so yeah, it's chia pudding. If you know what chia pudding is, guys. Um I what you could do, Luna, is if you want, you should be able to like type in the chat the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, and then I could pin it in the chat. Because I did see an option to pin a comment. So are you able to like type or copy and paste the YouTube channel and then just say subscribe to this channel? And I can, or you could even you can copy and paste um the live that we did. You can copy and paste the live that we did, the link to the live, and then I'll pin it in the chat. I'll press pin because I don't know, but I can actually pin it. You could also pin a link to the Patreon too, but I only think you could do one. You only could pin one comment, I think. But so let's start with. I'm gonna run down the promotions because we had a bunch of people already join, and whoever can see this or sees this, I will just say that. Yeah, when you put it in the chat, I'll go ahead and I'll pin it when I see it pass by because I don't see anything right now. Um, so let me get this out of the way, and I'll say it again at the end or something like that. But if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Darren and Luna's channel, which we're going to pin the last live video from that channel on in the chat here in a moment. So subscribe to both channels. Subscribe to Emily's channel, which is Welcome to Oracle. And Darren and Luna is the other channel. Darren and Luna is on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and then on Patreon, it's Darren and Luna's New Earth School. If you feel resonant with any of this information or content, there's tons of videos on this channel and on Darren and Luna's. If you get a chance to go back and watch anything, watch the content, like the content, subscribe, comment, share your feedback and thoughts. We had a Patreon live on Monday, and this past Monday, and it went off very well. We did another one we did the live, which we channeled Oracle, the Galactic Federation of Light, and the Divine Council of Nine. We'll be having another event on Darren and Luna's channel on Tuesday, July 30th at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Be sure to be there with your questions. And just have fun, man. I want to say this. The messages that I have been getting lately have been all around play, fun, letting go, surrendering, but more importantly, like play. Not calling work work, but calling it play, you know? We need to raise the frequency, raise the vibration of all of us, you know, and the more the ways we can do that is fun and play and creation, you know. um at the same time, rest too, you know, because rest is really important too, man. I found out like this past week I had to rest a lot, and that's okay and that's normal. Your body does need rest, you know. um and you know, nature time, like you can hear in the video, you can hear the birds and just nature, you know. So I am a very big advocate for rest and play, and you know, and I feel like we're coining the term work play. We're changing it. You know, we're going to oh yeah, this is the other message I was getting. Look look through the eyes of a child. I was getting that one big time. Look through the eyes of a child. Another message I was getting. Do you remember? I don't. Well, not everybody lived in a place where you have fall leaves, like leaves changing. Um, and so I know when I was a young kid, I had I lived in a place. I lived in the Northeast, and we had the fall leaves, and they fell off the trees. And I remember gathering a pile of leaves in the fall, and I remember piling them up and you know, diving in. And I remember gathering sheets and making like a kind of like a little tree house out of sheets, you know, as a kid, like just like playing, man, like using your imagination, you know. I did that so much as a kid. I would tie a sheet around my neck and jump off the couch like I was Superman, you know. I always and like we always use that term like kids in a candy store, you know. And Um, like, don't you remember when you were a kid and you were in a candy store, what it felt like? And I mean, I use that term all the time, because I feel like too many times where we end up taking life too serious. It's like it never was and never will be meant to be so serious. And the moment we can see life from we can see life from the eyes of a child. Let me see if I can pin that. Pin message. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I don't think I could pin two messages, but I did pin. Yeah, I pinned the first one. I don't think I can pin two messages. Um, but there's the information. Um, it kind of sucks because I'm starting to notice that when you go live on here, you don't really get to see the chat. Um, but I did pin that information in the chat. So as long as I'm on here, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna be on here for a long. I mean, because my phone's definitely getting hot. Um, and I do believe. Oh, I get it. Mm. So maybe I should pin the site where you have the link there. Um, I think everybody's at church. Oh, oh, okay. So that's why it's showing up twice. I got you. Yeah, I don't know how it looks on a computer if you actually see it on a computer because usually when you're on a computer on the desktop version of YouTube, you can see the whatever's pinned, in the chat, but it's not the same when someone's logged in from the phone. So yeah, you can't really see it on the phone. I think a lot of people are at church. Um, this is usually the time that occurs. I see. So yeah, this is the time that most people. No, I can see it. I can see it. Um, I can definitely see it. But what I'm saying is, when you're on the desktop, you can see it in the chat. Right above, say pinned. Um, but yeah, I think everybody's at church, or maybe finishing up church and having breakfast. I mean, I guess it depends what part of the world you're. But one big thing I really want to talk about that I really feel called to talk about. And I've talked about this on a bunch of lives already, but I feel like it's so needed right now with everything that's happening in the world stage is where are you focusing your attention, you know? I feel like it's so important right now with all the things that's occurring, uh, you know, in the world stage, you know, whatever you want to call it. And I keep saying this over and over again about focusing your attention on what you want to create versus not create. I'm not perfect at it either, you know, but I'm doing my best to do it as well and then share it, being the fact that I know that that is the case, you know? And, you know, again, it's everything's a challenge when you're used to doing something a certain way, you know? But I certainly broke away from like watching mainstream, you know, I'm not going to say it on here, but you all know what I'm talking about. And I don't watch any of that stuff. And if I do see it like on YouTube or something like that, and it's like in my feed for whatever reason, because there's stuff that you don't even choose to have in your feed and it's there, then I just see it. Oh yeah, and then I just like don't even like engage. I don't even open it up. I don't watch it, you know, because I choose not to put my attention to that. And there's this guy I used to watch quite a while ago. Um, he was like a pretty big newscaster. And he did like a Today type of thing. It was like a morning show or something like that. I used to watch it back in the I don't know 2000 like 2010, you know, somewhere around there in those times, you know. And he literally lost his job due to I guess sexual harassment, I guess you could say. I guess that's what it was. It was like he was like I don't think he was like touching women, but um or maybe he did. I don't know. I don't think he did. Again, I mean, again, I wasn't in the situation, I wasn't there, and even though there was a story about it, it doesn't mean that it was true, you know? But the reason I'm bringing it up is because it was like this big headlines when they 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 canceled his contract that he had. He had like a several years left. Him out and they you know, canceled his contract and there was all these stories flying around that, you know, he was like talking to women in like the, you know, in his dressing room in certain ways. And I don't know. I honestly don't know if he did stuff with them or not. I don't know. I don't know if it was even said that it went that far. I don't know. I'm not that's not the point of the story anyway. The point of the story is you don't even hear about him anymore. And he was very well known, man. He would go to the Olympics and he would um uh do it on the morning show with the rest of the crew, and the morning show is still on. He's just not a part of it anymore. And he was there for years, man. It had to be at least a decade. And why I'm talking about this story is because you don't know, first of all, if it was even true. And secondly, this story spread, but then look what happened when, as time went on, the story essentially dissolved. They don't really much care too much anymore, you know? Versus when it was like breaking news and there was headlines and they got your attention to focus on the story, to give the story momentum and energy, and then eventually it just faded. back years ago, you used to hear like people would say, "Oh yeah, this his." I'll just say the initials because I don't want to talk about it anymore. I don't want to give it attention, so I'll just say ML. I know it's not Martin Luther King, um, but you don't even hear people talking about it anymore. You know, because they essentially took their attention away, and then it just dissolved. So it just goes to show you, you know, whatever it is, whoever it is, when we focus our attention, we're building up these stories, and giving them like energy and giving them momentum and giving them like power essentially. So why don't we do that with like things that we want in the world, things we want to see happen? Like focus on that stuff to create it, you know? I don't know. It's just a little bit of my take on. I really feel like we have to do this more and more because we all are trying to co-create this new earth. And the more and more we put our attention to the beauty in the world, the planet, trees, all this different stuff, we're gonna make your own. What do you want to say? What do you want to say to people who are looping with the anger and grief happening within the collective? Well, not to focus on it. Honestly, not to focus on it. Um, I'm not saying to avoid it and avoid how you're feeling, but not to focus on it because the more attention you give it, the more amping it up it is, the more momentum it's getting, the more, you know. Um, Let me just say this, okay? An example: the wars that are happening, right? Let's say you're like all the way across the world. You don't know anybody personally in there. Yes, we're all one and connected, but in your immediate circle of a family, they're not involved in it, right? Meaning they're not there, boots on the ground in it, right? So what sense is it to watch it on some mainstream outlet and then get frustrated and angry as to what's happening and really focus your attention on it and curse at the screen and get angry and go out there and react to other people, about it. You know, it's just like the two candidates that for the November thing. It's like, what good is it to be in rage or anger about who's possibly going to be elected and who and how it's going to go down? Like, the more you do that, you're just denying love for yourself. That anger is being projected inward to yourself. You're just angry at yourself. And not only are you not helping yourself, but you're not helping the collective either. A lot of people say they want to help and they want to do all this stuff, but like then they're angry at the GOV and the medical things and all these things, and it's not doing anything but bringing you down to a lower frequency. love and a different light, seeing it that everything for all of our highest and greatest good, you know? But when you are just angry, not to say that you can't be angry at the situations, but the more you're giving it that energy to it, you're taking away from the creations that you could be creating. You're putting yourself in a lower frequency and vibration, which then it's no good, no help at all to anything or anyone, nor are you going to get like creative ideas or ideas to even make a change or a difference because you're playing in the lower frequencies of vibrations of anger and grief and all of it. Not to say that you don't feel those things, but when you're focused on these stories that are being created, you're giving it energy and you're lowering your own vibration and frequency. So I hope that, you know, maybe have you look at it in a better way or understand it in a better way. It's not doing you good and it's not doing anyone else good. I mean, honestly, if you can just see everything for what it is and that it's happening for you and by you, it changes the way you look at everything. And you raise your frequency and your vibration, which is important right now. And it's important not only for you, but for everyone. Because when you're in those lower frequencies, nothing is available to you but fear. And we all have been there and we all go back and forth and waver back and forth until we get to the point where the collective is high enough in frequency and vibration that we don't go down to those low densities, which is coming, it's happening. Yeah, make your own personal news within yourself. The advertisements you'd like to see within and around you. I love that. I love that. I think that should be for anything. Like create your own story, create your own reality. I thought there was like some kind of bug on there or something. Recommendations for those who have a hard time with redirecting to something else. Um, yeah, your breath, breathing, the present moment, putting your hands on your heart. And then I always say, like, I've been using this, like, I can't even tell you how many times a day. Like, I keep putting my hand on my heart and I keep going, I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. Not only have I been doing that, but I've been speaking different words over my body and over myself and to my body. Like, I feel courageous. I feel confident. I feel strong. I am healthy and well. I am rich and abundant, and then to see others then reflect it back to you. Like, I had this happen to me yesterday, actually. It's really interesting. So I'll just tell this story real quick. It was really cool. So there's these two women that my mom is going to be going to lunch with, and they live in the neighborhood. And um, well, I was taking a walk, and this like periodically I've been saying these things. I'm confident and courageous and strong, and I have a straight and sturdy back, and just speaking like the way that I want my body to be and the way I want to show up. And so then I also have been like putting my shoulders back like that and my head up, like, so I project out confidence. And I was walking that way where I had my shoulder, like my chest out and my shoulders back and my head was up like this. And after, saying I'm confident and I'm strong and well and healthy and rich and abundant and all these things I've been saying. Then I go for the walk and they're walking together and I'm going this way and they're coming this way. And literally they did not even see me. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, I didn't say their name or anything, but I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And then they had to take like a double take. And then they look and they go, "Oh, I didn't even see you." you're walking with such confidence. I was just like I was like, "Holy crap." I'm like, literally, this is what Sarah was talking about and how quickly, like, it's happening now. Like, when you speak to yourself and you speak to your body with these powerful words, and then you show up and when you put your shoulders back and arch them back and your head up and your chest out and you walk with confidence, like, people actually see it and they notice it and they feel it. And that's exactly what happened, and it was so funny. I've never ever since my dad passed in 22, and I've passed by them a million times in walking, and never once have they said that. Never once since 2022. And, I was like, "Wow, that is so freaking amazing," you know? That was so cool to have that experience, you know, and where someone else and I've had it well, actually, I've had it in another way. When I was at the chiropractor, he reflected back to me, "Wow, you have this really confidence about you," you know, like and he goes, "Oh, it must be like all the yoga you're doing or something like that." That's what his response was, but to actually have I because, I mean, you again, it's old stories, I don't wanna even replay them, but, moments in your life where you felt a lot of anxiety or depression or chaos inside of you, and you got reflected back people that were portraying that, as well. And then to have someone actually tell me, "Wow, you're really calm and you are," and I never experienced that either. But to have this is the second time, and I've had other people recently. I'm not gonna lie. I've had people, like Luna has, um, mirrored things back to me as well. So yeah, I. But that was the first time somebody walked past me. Well, not really, because the chiropractor did too. Um, but it was I don't know. It was really cool. Let's just say that. It was really cool to have that happen in that experience. So, um, yeah, people definitely notice if you're not feeling confident or you feel insecure or you feel fear or you feel whatever you feel, it's gonna be noticed, you know? And sometimes people won't consciously notice it. I mean, that's too. I mean, you have people that are unconscious of it. They're not gonna even notice it because they're numbed out themselves, so they're not gonna notice what you're feeling and what you're putting out. They may see it in a different way. But it was really, really cool to have that experience and for her to say that to me. And at first, she didn't even notice me. Like I said, at first, she just said, "Oh, I didn't even see you there. You're looking so." I don't. That's what it sounded like. I may be not using the exact words, but it definitely had confidence in it. And you're walking confidence. That's what the words were. It was like that. And she did say something about the shoulders being back, and I think, but I mean, she was like 70, 80 years old, man, and she noticed it, and she felt the energy, and she noticed it. That just proves where the collective is going, and we're becoming more and more energetic beings, where we're feeling what others are feeling. Yay, she had a she had to acclimate to your energy to notice you. Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what's so cool about it. That's what was so cool about it. Yeah, she had to acclimate to your energy to notice you. Yeah, I totally agree. And then to notice me as a confident, and my shoulders were up and out, and my chest was out, and all of it, and my head was up, and yeah, it was really, really freaking cool. Um, I left that interaction just excited for what's coming. That people are becoming more and more aware and conscious and of feeling, because I feel like it's becoming more energetic. And regardless, we're sensing, we're using our senses. Yeah, noticing me as my whole self. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And um that was cool, man. For somebody that's like 70, 80 years old, I'm pretty sure she's in that age range. I might have to ask my mom how old she is, but I venture to say probably in that arena. And to have that happening, it's unbelievable to me where we're headed. And, you know, more and more, I feel like things are becoming, yeah, energetic, where there's less words and more feeling of what that feels like, what that doesn't feel like, if that feels good and if it doesn't. And you don't even, I feel like the words are becoming more and more um, obsolete, because the words aren't even matching the way you're actually feeling. So when you express it through the words, it doesn't come off that way. So then it's like misconstrued in how you're actually feeling, because you really can't even vibe how that feeling feels and match it with a word. You think it's a blend of emotional intelligence and emotion slash. I agree. You know, listen, 2017, I was in a group called Emotional Regulation, and I was learning how to regulate my emotions. I was learning um, kind of how to match, I guess, plus therapy too was helping me to describe what those feelings were into words. And I still think that is very challenging. And that's why I feel like why it's challenging is because we're moving towards more of it being energetic, more of, oh wow, like wow, you're feeling really confident right now. And it's like you can feel the confidence, but like you don't know the words to put it in, but you can feel it and you know what it feels like that you're feeling from that other person, but you're not really able to kind of articulate the feeling with what word it matches with, in a sense. And I feel like it's going to be less and less words that we use, and it's going to be more of a feeling and telepathic and a knowing, because we're becoming more telepathic. We're, hearing and through the knowing of what someone is feeling through the energy, if that makes sense. I might be a little bit too deep. I don't know, but you may have to listen back to it. But I feel like that's what's happening. I get a big sense as to we're moving away from using as much words, and it's more a sense and a knowing and a telepathic communication than us using words that, I mean, hell, for like thousands of years have created wars and all kinds of things because people tried to express themselves through words and it was misunderstood or misconstrued, and that really wasn't truly how they felt. It was more though they didn't really know how to match the words with the feelings that they're actually experiencing, and articulate it in that way. um I think I hear you, and I think it's different levels to achieve, to move past, to light language, to telepathic. No, no, I don't disagree with that, but I mean, we're we already been doing telepathic. Um, Move past it, meaning understand the feelings to go to the next level. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But it's happening. It's already being infused in the collective consciousness. Just like light language, like the woman that I was on the call with, she's like 70 or 80 years old, man, and she was just talking about light language. And she was bringing up about how that's why it's in our awareness now, because the collective consciousness was ready for that. So yes, it's a process, but it's happening because there's so many of us that are telepathic and that are doing light language, which entail where injecting it into the collective consciousness to then to spread, you know? And the more and more a lot of us use these things, the more and more it's going to ripple, you know? So the more and more of us connect with our higher selves, the more and more of us make friends with our higher selves, the more and more of us connect to our higher selves, connect to source, channel, the more and more we are, in fact, making this a normal thing in the collective consciousness. Um, Same with, you know, light language, same with, you know, being telepathic, because we all are telepathic. It's just a matter of that being activated, which is happening because a lot of us are and have been. Um, I mean, hell, I know I practically my entire life. It's funny that I just realized today when I was in that meeting earlier today. No wonder why I have difficulty asking questions, because I asked too many questions when I was a kid, and my dad kept telling me, "You ask too many questions." And then I had teachers saying the same thing to me, and then I had just, you know, people just telling me I'm asking too many questions. So I suppressed it. And then to come to find out today, it clicked. And I'm like, holy crap, no wonder why when I do beyond quantum healing sessions, or when I need to come up with questions for the council or Oracle or someone else, I have difficulty coming up with questions because I was constantly told I'm asking too many questions. Because I would ask, where did God come from? Why is the sun just stay up in the sky like that? Where does everyone come from? Where did God come? No answers to everything. I want to know everything about how all of this and everyone was created and where God came from and where the whoever created God came from, and you know, on and on and on. And I would be told, no, like you're asking too many damn questions. You're like a kid. And I'm like, okay. So I just suppressed it. And then she's changing the belief, telling me, no, it's good for you to ask questions. You need to come up with better questions. So now I'm having this battle between, okay, all right. Thank you, Luna, Darren, and Luna. I have to head out. Thank you for ripping your energy to everyone. Blessings, blessings to you. Thank you. Thank you, Luna, for Darren and Luna for being the moderator and everything else. And yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up anyway. It's been an hour already. So uh, I am just gonna say this last thing. So yeah, I, you know, it's interesting because I had this battle between the um belief of that I'm asking too many questions, to now changing my belief to it's okay to ask questions. It's a good thing to ask questions. And I totally believe that's a belief that has been rippled throughout humanity so that we don't ask questions and we stay blind to everything, you know? And we don't question anything. And we just, you know, suppress it, and we just do, like, follow this and go punch into the job and do this, and we don't question anything. And I really truly believe that's a conditioning to get us to not ask questions. So anyways, I'm going to get going, everybody. Thank you, Darren and Luna, for your support and help in moderating the chat and asking questions. Um, Please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to the links below, to Darren and Luna, to the Patreon, to TikTok, to um, Facebook, to Instagram, to all of them. And be sure to bring your questions on Tuesday to the live that is at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Thank you, everyone, for showing up and bringing your support and liking and subscribing and commenting. I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Check out our Patreon, Darren and Luna New Earth School. Check out all the content on this channel, on Darren and Luna's channel, on Emily's channel. Welcome to Oracle. Check them all out. They all will bring you so much expansion. I love you all from my heart to yours. Take care of yourselves and each other. I love you all. I will see you soon.